Welcome back, everybody, to Two Guys and a Stack of Comics. As always, my name is Reed. Along with me, as always, is Mike. Hope everybody's having a happy holidays. We're here as the week of Christmas, and I guess red and green on our mind. Also, we got some new trailers. We're going to talk about those this week as well. But we want to talk about first. Prominent in the Captain America trailer that just came out, where the Falcon Captain America trailer, as I like to refer to it as, the Red Hulk makes an appearance in that. Um, we also have confirmation Betty Banner is coming back, or I guess she's Betty Ross still in this continuity. She is notoriously the Red Hulk, Red She-Hulk. We have Green She-Hulk. We have Gray Hulk. We have Green Hulk. And Mike and I, we've been talking a lot about the Hulk lately. It's a character we really love. It's a character we've really been examining. Me and him have been rewatching the show, rewatching the movies, all kinds of fun. We just want to talk a little bit. Do we think that the Red Hulk, all these other Hulks, Amadeus Cho Hulk, and then they had Rick Jones became A-Bomb, which was basically a blue Hulk. Do we think that all these variations of the Hulk have actually watered down and damaged the character, and maybe even partly why we got such a watered down and poor version in the MCU, because they were using aspects of the Hulk into these other characters. So, Mike, for you, I know you're an older school fan, you've been buying these longer than I have. When you hear about all these other variations of the Hulk, red, gray, whatever. I mean, obviously gray is a little different because that's still Banner, but what do you think about all those? Do you think it waters on the character? Are you a fan? What are your thoughts on it?
I'm not a fan. Although one of my best friends, who's the biggest Hulk fan I know, loved that Immortal Hulk run. I think it ran for like 2 years. Did it run for?
50 issues, yeah. It was a couple years, and I know they have like a Devil Hulk in there and all kinds of, yeah.
It was trippy. It was kind of wild. I'll chalk it up to the alternate universe kind of thing, and I guess it was, but it was a trippy storyline. Um, I personally don't like it that there's a world where there's 17 other Hulks. For me, there should only be one Hulk, and for me, and we talked about this in our other video. For me, it's critical that there's just the one Hulk, and that Bruce Banner doesn't know what's going to happen when the Hulk comes out. That's just a critical piece of the mythos that has to be there for the storylines to really work. Now, you can get all imaginative in these Elseworlds, what ifs, and Hulk
Yeah, like
is,
Maestro Hulk or Banner in the
smart,
future. Or
and
yeah.
Bruce Banner is the angry, off-kiltered, messed up personality, and the Hulk is actually kindly. You can get all weird with it, right? And that's okay. But I like the main continuity to just be like, Hulk. And, the best I can do for you is just maybe direct the Hulk at where the problem needs to be solved. And that just always throws an extra twist into an Avengers story or what have you. But the Hulk mythos is classic, just the way it is. And I think, if the Marvel publishing universe doesn't know what to do with it at this point, is Red Hulk going to sell better? Is She Hulk going to sell better? It might just
She
be
Hulk, yeah. I mean, yeah.
and I don't think it was a big success even with the show. But it's probably best just to go back to regular old Bruce Banner is the Hulk, which is the way we all love him,
Mhm.
and the movies too. If they're going to do some more cinematic stuff, just use the basic formula. It's beautiful, it's well crafted, it's legendary, it's iconic, it's a different take on Jekyll and Hyde, and it's just iconic. There's nothing else you could say about it. It's iconic, that story.
Yeah, I think the thing is, I think there's two different the schools of thought I have on it. I think it's inevitable, like every single superhero, that there were going to be different variations of the Hulk because he was a successful character, right? So I have Supergirl, Superboy, the Superman of China. I mean, there's all kinds of Supermans now,
The
right? Batman, Spider-Man.
472 X-Men.
Yeah, we've got multiple Wolverines. We've got all these different characters that are there. And so I think it is a mark of actually success of the character of the Hulk and him being so popular, and speaks to how many fans there are, how many people love that mythology and the character, that we do have these offshoot characters. I do think, in the same vein as like a Batman, though, I do think it waters it down. And I'll be honest, I was a guy, the Red Hulk storyline, I will say, did get me buying comic books again. Back when that happened, it had Jeff Loeb, Ed McGuinness, a lot of big creatives on it. And so I had been not buying comics as much in like high school and college. And that storyline, I remember seeing that. My dad saw the thing. My dad's a huge Hulk fan. He's like, Red Hulk, what is that? We got to go figure out what that is. We walked into the store and kind of got some stuff. And I was like later high school age when that sort of happened. I think one of the things is they do water down the character though. And I think what you've seen happen is it's the same thing that happens with characters in like the Batman universe. When you have four different Robins, they can't let any of them be full characters because it's like, well, we have to have the smart one be Tim, and the clever one has to be Dick Grayson, and the moody one has to be Damian, and the anti-hero one has to be Jason. And so we can't really ever have those blend because there's so many characters, and so none of them really get to be a full character because, well, you can't make them too much like Tim because then there's no point of there being Tim. And I think that's kind of what's happened to Hulk is once you have She-Hulk and Red She-Hulk and Red Hulk and A-Bomb and Totally Awesome Hulk and all these other Hulks that are there, which I can't even believe there's a character called Totally Awesome Hulk, just shows where Marvel was a decade ago, how bad that was. But the thing is, what happens is it just starts taking away from Banner, I think, because they start writing it, well, this Hulk has to be stronger, this Hulk, and it just makes it less and less unique. It's kind of like, I don't mind Supergirl so much because, okay, they wrote a backstory for her. But once there's 20 different Kryptonians, it's like, okay, Superman's the last son of Krypton. Like, there can't be 50, 60 different Kryptonians
I never said the
survive.
last daughter of Krypton, so you can have Supergirl. But
Well, and like,
the son of Krypton, that means
I think the
just
same thing you
one.
could say for Hulk in terms of I don't really have a problem with She-Hulk. Now I don't like She-Hulk that was in the show, but I think from a comic standpoint they did enough that She-Hulk was a variation of the Hulk who was never going to be similar to him. Right? She was very much a civilian identity. She controlled it. She had all these different things. It made sense. And again, I'm not the biggest fan of her, but she's probably the best version you can get of an offshoot character. Once Betty became Red She-Hulk and Rick Jones became a Blue Hulk and Thunderbolt Ross is a Red Hulk. And again, I thought the Red Hulk storyline was kind of interesting. I do think it just waters down the overall brand. And it can, especially because the Hulk is a unique character. This
Oh,
is
and
a
then there was
monster.
Planet Hulk. Remember, there was a whole planet of
Yeah,
Hulks.
no, Planet Hulk, everybody hulked out heroes, and we had Spider Hulk and Deadpool
It was
Hulk, and
it was out of control for a while
and
there.
it's just, and look, some of this is obviously just the proliferation of the ideas that comic books do, where it's like, we need a comic book that, what if Spider-Man got Hulk's powers? Right? Throw that out there. And I
Yeah.
don't necessarily blame that. But what I think has happened is, I think especially this has revisited the worst in the MCU. And that if you would have ever told me as a person who likes the Hulk that, hey, at one point there is going to be a movie that has the Hulk interacting with a Captain America. Betty Ross is going to be in it, and the leader is going to be in the movie. I'd have been incredibly excited. Except because comics have been so diluted, it's not Steve Rogers, it's Falcon. Bruce Banner's not in the film. The Hulk is the Red Hulk, and the leader will be fighting on side. It's like, what the heck are we doing here? Like this, it's become too diluted. Again, it's something where with other characters, we just flat wouldn't accept this. If we did a Batman movie where, hey, it's going to have Catwoman and it's going to involve Superman and this is going to have Scarecrow and a Batman, but oh, it's not Bruce, it's like Terry McGinnis and Robin is actually it's a mess. We wouldn't accept it, and I think what we've seen happen is it's given Marvel a reason to not invest in Banner. It's given Marvel a reason to not give him some of these storylines.
And
I
that's
think
the
a character.
strongest storyline is the true line basic Bruce Banner is the Hulk. That's the strongest storyline.
Well, and one of the things I get tired of is I get tired of the excuse of like, well, it's 60 years of storytelling. How do you tell these stories over and over? I don't know. You just revisit the classic stories that everybody seemed to know how to do. I think that's one of the things is like, look, I've been reading since I was 17 or 18 years old, Jack Reacher novels. Every year there's a Jack Reacher novel. It is a very simple story. Jack Reacher is a drifter who walks into a town, finds some bad guys in over 500 pages. You see him disassemble a criminal network. And
Yeah.
every year that book is good, and every year I like reading that book. With comic books, you got to deliver a 20-page story once a month, and you can two-page spread the Hulk punch in a building, and that can take care of 10% of the comic book. That
Yeah.
they keep acting like they can't carry on the story of the Hulk without these watered down variations of the character. To me, it just speaks to the fact that they don't want to invest in him story wise. They don't want to give him a love interest anymore. They keep wanting to add these, like, I think even in the new run from Philip Kennedy Johnson, there's this young girl that like he was like taking care of who has to acquire like werewolf-esque powers now, and she's like the hulked out version of that. And it's just they can't pick a lane for Banner to be in. It's like sometimes it's just okay to lean into what the character is. He is hunted because he's the Hulk. He has the military after him. He is not seen as a hero. It is a curse, and he is trying to do the best that he can to balance that. And if you want to have him evolve a little bit, then you have to do some substantial work to do that. But what I feel like they've done is like, we don't really know where to take him. Let's make Red Hulk. We don't know where to take him. Let's do Blue Hulk. We don't know where to take him. Let's make Betty a Hulk. Let's give him a son. He's also a Hulk. And it just overall, I think, ends up damaging the character. And it seems like so much of the focus from larger Marvel is on these other variations of it without going through what Banner should be going through. And I think that just hurts the character overall.
Well,
And I
I
think we
think
see that revisited so much in the MCU. Go ahead,
I
Mike.
think they're trying to reinvent the wheel, and start out on the shoulders of giants. And well, let's see if one of these, and it's been that way for like 30 years, throwing spaghetti at the wall, and sometimes it sticks, like Deadpool and
Yeah,
Wolverine and Miles Morales, and sometimes it'll
different
stick.
new variations of characters and things like that. Yeah.
And new characters, but I think they're just kind of like, I don't know.
They
I
just
like,
don't seem to be committed to anything with him. And I think that's you're starting to see that watered down. And again, I think it's completely different when you have someone like Peter David come in and go, okay, Banner has found some sort of balance. He's now the Joe Fixit gray version of the Hulk. That's just a variation of the Hulk. It's kind of honoring the fact that Hulk was originally supposed to be gray. I think that's kind of cool, right? When you do something like the Maestro, where, hey, in the future, the Hulk in this alternate universe is a villain, that's fine. The Ultimate Universe, while I kind of lost interest in the Ultimates, one of the only cool things they did is like the Hulk is a villain and he's like balanced with Iron Fist powers and all this stuff. And it's an alternate universe story, so it's kind of genuinely like, oh, that's interesting. I just
yeah.
think when you have so many of the same character, especially like the Hulk is not like a Green Arrow thing where technically someone could train and acquire the same abilities as Green Arrow or something like that. This should be a unique individual who went through a tragic thing and it's just that person. There should never be oh, Hulk is here. Which one? And I think that's where we're at with Marvel right now, where they want you to go, oh, which Hulk? And it's like, that's just a stupid thing. It should be one guy, should be the green Savage
I,
Hulk. At
I'm
least that's my
glad
opinion.
I'm
Um,
glad we agree on that, because I'm wholeheartedly down for that as somebody who fell in love with the Hulk way back when in the 70s. I thought it was great.
yeah, we'll see what happens. Hopefully, I mean, it doesn't look like this Captain America movie is going to do very well. So maybe this will be the end of these alternate universe Hulks and things like that from a large spectrum. And maybe Marvel will go back to actually giving us a Hulk film. We shall see. Let us know what you guys think below. What do you think about all these variations of the Hulk? Do you think it waters down the character? Do you think it takes too much away from who the character should be? As always, we'd love to hear you guys' thoughts. Thank you
And which
guys so
one of the variants was your favorite or strongest, do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. And again, if you disagree with us, you're like, no, we love the Red Hulk or the Green Hulk or She Hulk or whatever. Let us know. It's always great to see those perspectives. We'll never pretend to be the 100% experts. As the channel title says, it's two guys with a stack of comic books, and we just give our opinions here. So let
There's the
us know,
stack right
as
back there,
always.
guys.
Let us know what you think,
Oh,
as
there's
always.
two stacks back there
Oh,
and a couple
you're
boxes.
carrying the load on the stack. I'm in my kids' room. You're carrying the stacks of comics today. As always, folks, let us know what you think. God bless you. Thanks for watching. Have a Merry Christmas. We'll catch you in our next video.
Thanks, everybody.